just going to do a quick update on my development project. I guess I'm doing my Drive With Me lives again, but basically, again, when I do these, I don't really look and read comments, but I'm just sharing with you. So, project-wise, with my development, we're still flattening the dirt. I had a meeting today with my contractor and my other two realtors and my broker, and we're just going over where we are with the development, where we are with questions, going over some numbers. Where are we? Are we on track? Are we behind the development? So, and it looks like we are pretty much on track with the numbers. We had some expenses that came up that we were able to cut, so one of the things was, if you were to go back on my video that I shared, I do need a retaining wall. So we were kind of going over like what is the best look for the retaining wall, which will be the wall that will be outside of the property. And so the property next to me that is a development that's already developed, they have a cement wall, which doesn't look really appealing. So we're going to be doing limestone. So basically they're like long blocks stacked on top of each other to do my retaining wall, and it's actually not as expensive as concrete. And so those are the type of decisions that we were talking about, like what can we do to cut expenses, but then also to make it look nice, and going over different options, stuff like that. So we're still kind of like on track for February to be complete with the project. Remember, this is the shell part. This is not the inside, because what I'm developing is a strip center, retail, and when we find the tenants, then that's when we do the inside build, which I'll be getting with my same contractor, since he's already dealing with the shell part. He will be working with my tenants to figure out the layout inside, and more details about that when I get closer. But so we spent about an hour and a half in the meeting. We went over things like the type of lighting. I want to make sure my lighting outside is really good. I want to make sure that there's no dark areas with my development. So we went over lighting. There are some specifications that I want to look into to make sure I have plenty of lumens, the brightness. I want to make sure the colors are matching from the parking lot to the building. So these little details are really important to me. And since it's my first development, I don't want any surprises. We talk about it now. So my contractor will be getting with the guy installing these parking lot lights about how bright they're going to be. We also talked about, because I am going to be getting a restaurant. One of my tenants is a restaurant in my development. We're going to be figuring out where does he want to sign at, because if we can figure out the details about that now, we don't need to be digging into the concrete or the electrical part for his sign, which is like the menu. So very exciting. Very exciting about that. What else did we go over? I think on the 20th, right now it's November 6th, I think on the 20th of this month, they're going to be getting ready for the wooden stakes and putting some poles in there, because we're going to do the framing now, and then we're going to start working on plumbing. So that is also exciting. So for sure I'll be there for that. And that's pretty much it. There's certain things that we're talking about with our meeting, figuring out where we are with the numbers. We discovered, certain things with plumbing. There was a pipe when they're digging everything out, they discovered that this pipe really should have been a little bit more lower. So we have to actually fix a correction that was done before I got the property, and how much that's going to cost. So I'm still waiting for estimates. So basically, guys, there's always going to be surprises, right? And you have to anticipate that, and you surprises. You want the least amount of surprises. You want to anticipate things, but you want to be very careful all the way through and talk about things all the way through in every meeting. And so there were some other questions that I have, but you know, there's just some things along the road that I will talk about when I get there, because right now it's just a waste of energy. I'm not going to talk about how do we figure out what type of layout we're going to do for the tenant. I already got 2 tenants, which is good. I already got 2 tenants. Leases are signed. They already paid their first month's rent and their deposit, and I don't even have a building yet. So really great, really exciting. So I'm gonna have a restaurant on the end cap. The end cap is on the side where you do drive-through. So end caps are always more per square foot when you're leasing those out. So it's always good to have a drive-through on your development. You can charge more per square footage. And then next to it is a farmer's insurance. So I really have 2 really strong tenants, and I already told my broker and my agent that I really need to have tenants that have at least 3 years of experience. It just depends. Like, I don't want to be too picky. I want to make sure that I have a good tenant. They're locked in. You know, they know what they're doing. They can hold themselves through challenging times. And so we're waiting. You know, we're going through applicants. So yeah, so hopefully by February it's complete. So right now I really haven't been by the property to show you, because it's kind of the same thing. They're just flattening out everything, moving dirt around, and so you're not really missing anything. They're just doing their thing right now, right? And I'm already at my other destination. So that's that. So I also want to like go, what time is it? It's 1:40, so I'll probably be on here for like another 10 minutes. See where I'm going to park. I'm at my other property. I'm going to check on it. I wasn't here yesterday. We're pretty busy, so I just want to make sure that, you know, everybody's moving. Everybody's doing their thing. Just want to share with you, like, besides that, guys, like, hello, you know, I'm just like everyone else. Mother, wife, business. Like, what about like the holidays? What are you doing? Really quick. So what I'm doing to try to do it all is I'm pretty much doing a lot of my shopping online. And then when I do go out, I'll take a look, but I'm pretty much halfway through my shopping. Like, seriously. Things that I want to get people, things that I think would be great for them, right? And I'm doing that, delivering it to my house, because there ain't no way I'm going to spend my time, my energy walking around. I don't have that luxury right now with everything going on. And for the holidays, probably not going to do Thanksgiving. I'm probably not going to cook like I normally do. I do the whole thing for my family. I also do a potluck Thanksgiving at one of my properties, where everyone brings something. I do the turkey and the stuffing every year, and I'm going to do that, which will be the 17th of November, this month. And but yeah, I think about going out for Thanksgiving, like to a good restaurant where they have like a whole course meal. Like, I heard it's really good, so we're gonna go try it. I have to make reservations, but I'm thinking about that. And then for Christmas, again, guys, I already did a lot of my shopping online. And you know, I told my kids, you know, give me a Christmas list of what you're wanting, like, now, so I can like figure it out. I don't like to do last minute things, and that's kind of like what I'm doing to make sure I like have fun for the holidays. I'm not stressing out, plus paying attention to the really important things. And then also planning like for next year, my goal for 2026, and where am I at in 2025? Where am I at, right? And so there's just a lot of moving parts right now, and I really need to make sure that I have still moments and to reflect and to plan, because guys, nothing really happens unless you plan for it. Nothing happens, because if you don't plan for it, you're just going to maintain your life. And yes, I'm maintaining my life, but I have to plan for my life and also enjoy my days and make time for everything. And none of that is just accidental. Like, it's intentional. You really have to plan things out if you really want to stretch out your days and maximize every day that you have. And so that's what I do to make it easy for myself, is I have a goal for the month. Okay, this is my end goal. Like, no matter, at the end of the month, this is my goal. Okay, and so, and then I have my main targets for the day. Like, I have so many things to do in a day, but if I can at least hit these main targets, then I know I'm not going to fall behind. And those are like my top priority, like the most important. Like, it has to be that email. It has to be that decision I have to make. It has to be maybe an agreement I need to sign or I need to send. Things are going to move things in my life, and also move, transactions, such as the business, right? And then also finding time for family and for loved ones, and scheduling all of that. Like, I know that it can be very hard and challenging. So that's why you really have to plan your day, your week, your month, and your year, and figure out, like, where am I going to fit everything. And the best way for me, guys, is I need to physically have a calendar on my desk. This is like one of my top items. It's a must. Okay, is a calendar on my desk, a big one. Like, I'm not talking about a small one. I need those big calendars on my desk, my main desk in my home office. I look at it every day for the month. I have it written on there, like my kids' stuff, the hotel stuff, my personal stuff, my husband's stuff, my project stuff. So at a glance, I see everything, and then I plan ahead of time. Like, I see it for coming. Like, okay, I got 2 weeks before I worry about that, like, I'm not going to worry about that right now. And that's also another thing. Like, I had a call today with one of my revenue managers for my hotel, and he was telling me that he couldn't sleep last night. He was having a hard time. He was thinking about this and that, and he was worried about this, he was worried about that. And he's like, you know what I mean? Like, I just had insomnia. I couldn't sleep. I was worried about that. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't lose sleep like that. And I told him, like, I really don't worry about things like that, because I just got to handle day by day. Take care of the day, and tomorrow will be okay. Take care of what I need to do today and plan for the future. Yes, there's going to be things that come up, unexpected things, a text message, an email, sad news, something devastating. You have no control of those things, right? Just how you're going to react, your energy, what is your part in that? Like, you're going to have to probably figure out, okay, like, how am I going to solve that? And so practicing solving problems quickly is so important. And having critical thinking skills is also going to help you make fast decisions and good decisions, because you don't want to make fast decisions and it's bad decisions, But I told him, I really don't worry about anything. I just go to sleep, because I know that I'm doing all that I can, and I'm planning for everything that I can, and I'm taking care of my day. And a lot of that is, like I said, like, I feel like I'm more in control of things if I have it on paper. Like, if I have my calendar and I know what I need to do for this month, I'm not going to worry about it, because I feel like I'm in control. Like, for example, I know when my bills are due. I know when I have to go somewhere. I have a meeting, I have an appointment, something for my kids, if I have that and I see it, I don't forget, so having this foundation is so important for you. And so taking that for 2026, I think it'll be great if you want to start doing things differently for yourself. I do have times where things happen unexpectedly, and And I have to think about being a problem solver. Being a problem solver is what's going to help you get over those tough times, and also like your perspective on it, you know, and how you're going to handle it. All right, guys. So I hope that helps you. Just want to share with you my development. Ooh, got the charger in my coffee. My development. I'm really excited about that. You know, it's like I'm pregnant. You know, like I'm creating something right now. I know it sounds weird, but I feel like that's what it is. And then like once it's built, like I delivered. You know, like I'm excited. You know, you know, it's just weird. I don't know how else to explain it. So, and it's just great because I've been planning it before I even purchased the land. And for those that have been following me, I've talked about it. Like, I talked about it and I foresaw it. I saw it in my mind. I did reels about it. And here I am. You have to, it all starts with a thought. You know, what are you thinking about? You're thinking about negativity today. You're always complaining. You're always upset about, like, you're wasting your energy. Like, you know, and I'm just sharing with you what works for me. And for me is my calendar. It's so important for me to write it down, and then also to just figuring out ways to save information so that way you're not stressing out trying to find something. I mean, that was one thing that I really had to work on when I was younger. I was so unorganized, and I think you're always learning how to organize yourself, because if you're organized with yourself and you're organized with like information, then you can at least save the headache. And I want to give an example about, I could be on forever, guys. Anyways, I'll let you go. I'm my property, and then I'll probably share. I'm kind of thinking that I was gonna drive by my property tonight, the development, and see how dark it is, because I'm trying to visualize my parking lot lights. And I've been looking at other parking lots, retail, and they don't have parking lots at the end off the highway. So I think I'm okay, but I'm just worried about that. But I'm just want to see how dark it is too. But anyways, maybe I'll do it like on the weekend, right? It's too much on today's Thursday traffic. Probably plan on the weekend. But I'm probably thinking tomorrow's Friday. I think maybe first thing in the morning I might drive over there, just to kind of go over there. I think it's been about 2 weeks since I've been there, and give you an update. Okay? All right, guys, y'all take care, and